can find love, but I got good intentions, yeah. If you ain't solid, homie, keep your distance.
Welcome back to another episode of the Good Intentions Podcast, where we talk about trying out for a ring, doing wifey duties before getting married, and as usual, being the best bad bitch that you could possibly be. It's your host, Queen Cass.
And it's Giddy Love. And if this is your first time tuning in, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Good Intentions Podcast and on IG at Good Intentions Pod.
All right, so today I found this very interesting thread, and we're probably going to post it on our page so you guys know what we're talking about. But I'm going to be reading through it and then just kind of like giving our opinions about different things because it is a very juicy post. Dang, I deleted it. When I get upset with people, I delete my threads with them. So I was looking for it. I don't care.
Wait, who were you upset with?
It does not matter. It was deleted. No, it wasn't y'all because now I'm going to go in their text message to see, because I had shared it with somebody else, but it's fine. I was upset. So I went to, anyways, all right.
Wow. I thought this podcast was all about transparency.
I was transparent.
Being honest and open with our listeners.
And because I was transparent, I let y'all know what I do when I'm upset at people. Anyways, so the original tweet reads, "Free all my girls that act like a wife without the ring." Boom. So then, of course, here comes the men's. So a man replied, "But want to be treated like a wife without acting like one, you'll never become one." So let's just stop there. Gidna, what do you think?
I think they both have valid points. I think it's situational. It's whatever you and your partner have spoken about or the expectations. Because coming into a relationship, you have to understand your partner's love language. And if the love language is you want some food, that's acts of service or whatever, like, is that really you being a wife or is that you communicating like to your partner's love language, So with that, I understand it from both perspectives because there's relationships where I've done wifey duties, I had a whole kid. Still missing, but and then there's other situations where I'm like, yo, like now moving forward, I'm like, okay, there's going to be boundaries I set. There's certain things I'm not going to do for that person just because I've done it in the past and I don't feel like giving myself away that like that anymore. So
what are some of those things? Like, what are you not gonna do until you're somebody's wife or until you got somebody a ring on your finger?
I ain't doing your laundry. Like for me, I don't even like doing my own laundry, so I'm not doing your laundry. I'm not cooking on a regular basis. Like I can cook here and there, but if you're expecting a home cooked meal every night, go to your mama's house. Like go to Keisha's house.
Ooh, go to your side chick house.
Don't come to my house because you ain't getting that. I think those are like my main ones, and I don't need nobody living with me. Like don't invade my space like that. Don't do that. You stay in your own space. Stay in your corner. So those are like the three main ones. Like the cooking I can do here and there, but every day, nah.
I think what I got from the tweet and the exchange is like, I know for me, I used to often be performing and auditioning for men and showing them, look how much of a wife I could be to you. I know I used to do that. Look at, how well I can make your bed. Look how well, I'm disgusted. Grown ass man. Look how well I could cook your favorite meals, because to me, I tied my value into the things that I could do for you, and I wanted you to see me as your wife. But now I understand that I don't have to do anything to be a wife, to be wife material, as they call it. A lot of times I think men, they know from the jump if someone they would make their wife or not. And oftentimes it comes before doing a lot of things. It comes before like cooking, cleaning, all these different things. It comes from like conversations and the type of mental state, like, you know, the person is. How can you elevate me type thing? I think men really are, I could be speaking out my ass. I do not know. However, I know that I don't have to do things for you to prove that I'm going to be an asset in your life. I could just be me. And that's it.
Yeah. I think that auditioning piece is more, it stems from a place of insecurity more than anything. I think it's our insecurities. Like, I have to prove to you my worth, you know? And with you, like, validating my worth, that's how I feel good about myself. And that's how I continue to give, even if it's not reciprocated. Because as women, we sometimes give, all of us, and they do the bare minimum. And when they do something one step above the minimum, we praise them like crazy. Like, no, I'm requiring so much more from these guys, because it's like, I'm falling in love with me.
Ooh, say that.
So if you got to give me the love that I'm giving myself, and whatever I'm expecting you to give me, I can give for myself currently.
Right.
You know, so it's just, when you're in a different headspace, when you're really intentional and you're working on you and knowing your worth, you attract different things. Like, you know.
But sometimes it's not even attracting. Like, you could check something right then and there. Like, this behavior, I'm not tolerating it. This behavior is just not going to work for me and what I got going on. And I would rather lose you than lose myself. Yeah. And I think a lot of times men don't know how to handle that, because they're used to being pursued. I think times have changed. Men are being chased like crazy, or they're surrounded and women are flocking themselves to them, because, you know, we were taught very young that you had to get married. We have our biological clock. We've always been subconsciously, we've always been chasing. We've always been dressing for a man. We've always been cooking and cleaning and all these different things for a man. But I think now we're in a new generation of women where we are getting married older, because we're realizing, like, you're adding stress to my life for what? I could do that all by my damn self. So why do I have to prove to you that I could be a maid? Essentially.
And I think too, like, it's going back to a point that you had stated. It's just us really dating men that are ready. Because most of the times we're after people who are not ready for a relationship. They're not ready to give us what we want them to give us, you know? So it's like, when you come to that, it's always going to be a chase. You're always going to give more. But when the guy is ready, and Derek Jackson, I seen one of his videos about Michael B. Jordan. And he was saying how Michael B. Jordan did all these extravagant things for Lori Harvey. And his point was, Michael was ready for a relationship before he even met Lori.
Had his money ready, had his ideas ready.
And it's like he was going to give that love and attention to Keisha or Lauren or whoever came along. It just so happened that Lori came when he was ready, but it didn't necessarily have to be Lori, you know?
And that's so crazy, because when we were talking about this topic, I was brainstorming, and I realized, like, the importance of knowing who you are and what you bring to the table. And in dating, especially as women, I think a lot of times we think we've been treating men like they're the prize. We've been saying, like, you know, we've been showing our ass for a man to pick us. Like, you know, men have different women that they're talking to. I automatically assume, like, if you're talking to me, you're talking to different females, And I think a lot of times we've been going out of our way to, like, show me, pick me. This is why I'm the best out of everyone else. But you have to understand that you're the prize. You're an asset. You don't want me, you're lost. Someone else is going to thrive off of that. Just like you're saying. It doesn't matter who it is. Whoever my partner is, we going to rock. We're going to be good. And that's why now I've kind of, like, distanced myself from the idea of soulmates. Because I've realized the type of person I am. I could elevate and make any relationship better. But I'm going to need that back with a partner who's doing the same thing.
Yeah. I think even with dating, like, you guys know my journey. You guys have been listening. I've been dating different people. And once again, if you date, doesn't mean you got to sleep around with these people. If you do, that's your prerogative. Kudos to you. But it's really getting the experience, knowing your likes and dislikes, and just seeing how different men treat you, you know? And you teaching them how to treat you. And recently, like the person that I've been dating now, y'all, I've been enjoying the dates, you know. You know, they've been like different level, and it's so nice to see somebody who really puts forth the effort. You know, it's like, oh, would you prefer this or that? I have to do no work. I do absolutely no work. It's like, okay, I'm adding you to my Google Calendar because you're very organized, whatever. And it's like, okay, here's.
You added him to your calendar?
No, he added me because he's got a lot going on.
That's good.
I'd be fake busy at times. But he's like, okay, here's my Google Calendar. Here are the times when I'm available. Like, let me know what your schedule look like,
bro. When a man wants you, when a man likes you, you'll know.
Yeah,
and that's your sign right now, sis. I'm telling you, if you're unsure, you're confused.
It's nothing you have to do. You don't have to go out of your way. Literally, you just show up.
Show up. And
just show up. Like, I've been showing up. Even, like, the last day we had. He's already got, like, the next day planned. I'm just like...
I'm telling you.
Yo, we're on a date now. And, like, it's not even about how much we spend on... Like, how much he spends on the date or... You know, it's just the effort. Like, you're putting forth effort. You're thinking of outside of the box. Like, we're doing stuff that I ain't never done before, you know? And you're exposing me to a different lifestyle that I'm like...
You want to experience with me. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things in a relationship is, like, experiencing together. Like, and also, like, I love when a man puts himself in a vulnerable spot, like to try something new.
Yeah.
And that's a tip, ladies, too. Like, if you're dating... Guys who want to do something new that they've never done before. Those are the type of guys that you kind of want to gravitate towards because they let you know that they're okay with trying new things as opposed to taking you to something that they're good at because that's why they want to show off to you. Let me show you how good I am at bowling. When we could go like skating or something and I've never skated before.
Yeah.
Like those are things like you start picking up cues on people too. Like that's something that's important. Yeah. You want a man who's ready to be vulnerable with you. That's so sexy.
I think with him, the reason why he really stood out to, like, compared to the rest, to be completely honest, y'all know this semester has been kicking my butt. And we were talking, I'm just like, yo, I'm stressed out right now. I can't. I got so much homework, da-da-da-da. He was like, send me your discussion post. Let me see what it is. You know, let me see how I can help you. You know, send me the articles. It was just the simple fact that usually when you talk to somebody, it's like you got a lot of work. Oh, damn.
Damn. All right,
that
hit you up later. You know what that sucks? I'm going to hit you up later.
Yeah, or you so smart. You got this. No.
Help me.
Right. And even if he didn't do it, just the thought.
You were interested enough. You wanted to see what I was learning about. You wanted,
and now he knows more about my work than I do. Like, he'll actually read the articles and then we'll have like conversations and discussions about the articles. And it's like, yo, I didn't get that deep yet. Give me a second. I've been working on the, like, and it's like, he knows, like, when it comes to my school, he knows everything. Like, oh, you working on the discussion post for this, you doing this, you doing, like, he cares and he shows it. And I'm like,
girl, that man, I can't speak it enough just because I've dated guys who like me and I've dated guys who don't like me. And there's such a clear difference.
Oh, yeah.
And some men that you guys are dating do not like you. I'm telling you.
And you know it. And you know it. You cannot.
This is going to be the clip for a page. Like, whatever second mark this is, sis. If you are unsure, if you are confused, if you're asking your homegirls, what does this mean? He does not like you.
He does not like you. Let it go.
And that's tough to understand. It hurts. It sucks. And it's confusing because you guys are spending so much time together. And you guys are talking all the time. But he does not like you. You're nice for his ego, but he does not like you. So this is your cue.
You might get him to bust a nut or two, but
you see, I was even trying to
he does not like you.
Yeah, baby. You are a placeholder. He's just keeping you around until he finds his girlfriend. And I
or his wife.
I do, yeah.
You know. And it's just so much joy on the other side. But even aside from that, like, we as women, we have this thing that God blessed us with. It's called an intuition. And I don't care what anyone say, like, you know how somebody feels about you. I don't care. Like, deep down, you know. And it sucks to admit it, but you know, follow your intuition. I was having this
conversation the other day, and I was telling someone, like, I've never had to ask the guys that I was not meant to be with, or the guys that were no good for me. I always had to ask what their intentions were. I always had to be like, what do you want? Da, da. Every other guy that's been like about me, I've always known, hey, I like you. What are we doing? I'm telling. Anyways, going back to this post because y'all gonna get me mad. So the girl, they're going back and forth on the post, and this lady, she says she disagreed because she's always gonna be herself, and she doesn't believe in holding back parts of herself until she becomes a wife. Both people should know exactly what they're getting in a human before committing for life. Of course, men agreed with that. And she went on to say, I wouldn't marry a man who hasn't shown me the kind of husband he will be on earth. Why on earth would I want to marry him without knowing the kind of, why would I expect him to marry me without knowing the kind of wife I will be?
Okay, let me break this down real quick. So with that post, I feel like people get dating confused with courting, confused with relationship. They're all different and they all require something different. If you're dating someone, you're getting to know that person, you know, you're getting to see if this is worth going to the next level. Now, if you're courting someone, you're dating with more of an intention of engagement, marriage. When you reach that point in a relationship where you feel like, okay, this looks like it can potentially be my husband, or I can potentially be a wife to that person, then of course you can give that person more of yourself, you know, but don't give the person like wifey materials, like benefits when you're just dating that person. You know, having set those boundaries and knowing where you are in the relationship, then you can move according to where you're at, you know, because if we get past the dating, then I can fix you a plate of food, or, you know, because I'm just dating you. I don't have to give you that much of myself. I don't have to cook for you. I don't have to clean for you. I don't have to do any of these things. I'm getting to know you. And in that process, I'm getting to know 5, 6, 7, however, other people. You're fighting for me. You're fighting for my attention. What are you bringing to the table? How are you standing out? And if I have to show you that I can cook, or I can clean, or I can do this, I can do that while we're dating, why am I doing all of this? Now I'm lowering my standards for you. Now, if we're courting, that means now we're more exclusive. So now my attention is mainly on you and your attention is on me. I can give you more. I can provide you with more because we are heading down that path of marriage. Then once we get married, then I can give you all of me because you just won all of those benefits. You know, I had to take you out of church real quick.
Yeah, my dating looks a little different. Just because personally, like, I'm not one for the whole dating to marry thing. Like, I don't believe in that anymore. I just believe in having like intentional relationships that make sense. And it just so happened to be relationships that are most likely gonna end up in marriage. But like, if you move and things like that, like whatever. So like, I believe in like, there's a talking. You're getting to know each other. We're texting, cool, like this is literally bare minimum. I don't owe you anything. And then dating, we're dating multiple people, but we're going on dates. I'm getting to know you on a more serious level. I'm interested in your likes, dislikes. We might be on the phone talking all the time. And then we become exclusive. Exclusive is just me and you, and that's
the courting aspect of it.
But courting, I know, has a much more like we're going to marry, like you're courting to marry type thing. No?
So what is like being exclusive? Are you not like in a relationship?
You're in a relationship, but when you're courting, the end goal is to marry.
Is that not for a relationship too, if that's what you're looking for?
If that's what you're looking for, but I know courting is much more like through the church. There's a whole process for it.
Not really, because it's the path to marriage, but when you're courting, you're still in a relationship.
Well, I get that, but I'm saying the end goal of courting is marriage, and that's not the end, at least for me, I'm speaking for myself.
But I'm trying to understand your point of view too. What is the end goal of a relationship for you?
For me, it's for us to be in a relationship until it makes sense. So it might be, we get married, or we're no longer good together anymore. We've tried our best. We can end it there. Like, I'm much more okay with ending a relationship. Like, it's not a blow to me. Because I've dated to marry, and for me, it's very stifling. It's very, like, suffocating. Because it's like, oh, no matter what, I'm going to end up with that person no matter what. For me, is how I speak. So for me, when it's exclusive, it's like, as long as it makes sense for us to be together, as long as our goals are aligned. It might be that we get married, but also when we get married, maybe we have to get a divorce or something along those lines. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to tie myself to a person forever. Right now, I just can't do that. So then you're exclusive, but at the same time, it's not until we're married, like you said, you're gonna get a lot of benefits. So at all these different relationship phases, I'm giving the bare minimum. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm giving you what that specific
in a relationship too.
And I'm giving you what that specific phase require type thing. So if I'm in a relationship, I'm giving you what a relationship requires. There's some days I might cook, but I don't want that to be an expectation that I'm cooking for you every day, because to me, that's the benefit that my husband would get, a meal every day. I don't ever want to set something that I'm not going to be able to keep up later, for sure.
I think it's the bare minimum thing that's throwing me off. Like, I think when I think of bare minimum, it's bare minimum.
Yeah,
you can't.
Well, yeah.
No, I'm saying, like, for me, it's like going in a relationship expecting to break up with the expectation that you're gonna break up. Like, that's how I think of the bare minimum. It's like, I'm not going to do anything out of my way.
That's not how I meant it. That's how you're taking it. I meant it like I'm doing what each phase requires. I'm giving what each phase requires. I'm not even going above. Maybe I'm using the wrong term. Well, yeah, but I just don't want to lose myself in a phase. That's really what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah,
maybe I'm using the wrong terminology, but I'm really mindful of like doing what each phase require. I'm not going above and beyond, showing my ass to prove something is really what I meant.
Okay, I think we're both saying the same thing, just in different ways. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
And this episode just got a little juicy. Okay, y'all. Anyways, what else does the thing say?
Free all the men that act like a husband but won't propose to a female because she's not ready. Huh? Who does that? Wait, this is a men arguing that point. Why don't you just leave it?
That's that double standard.
I don't know what. Yeah,
I think that's that double standard. You see how she just like skipped past it from a men's perspective. The comment from the men's perspective is just gonna get past.
Well, no, because I be agreeing with some men, but I just didn't understand that point. Women always complain about the double standard, but don't live by it when presented by that kind of situation. I just understand what his point was.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, do you guys think that you're competing for your significant other?
Competing in what ways? Like in the beginning phase, or
like in general? I mean, even when you're a wife, you're still competing, right?
That's a good question.
I don't know if I would use the word competing.
I think
Go ahead.
you have to keep being valuable. You have to keep being an asset.
Yeah.
Like
you have to continue to be desirable by your husband. Like it's just the maintenance part that I would think you still gotta keep up with yourself and keep bringing something to the table. So it's value.
You're only competing with yourself because you gotta be the best version of you than you were yesterday.
I mean, especially if you guys are going through it like the way you guys are saying, like, okay, you get this much of me every little whatever, and then you get all of me at the end. So I would imagine like they're doing the same. They might be looking at other people as well. Like you guys are looking at other people.
Mm-hmm.
Are you like you want them, right? You want them to want you.
Yeah. I think majority of the competition is done like in the early phases. So like the dating, in the courting. But I feel like once you're in a marriage, it's no longer a competition. It's more like a maintenance. Like you have it, now you have to do what it takes to keep it and to keep that relationship fresh, to keep yourself looking good, you just can't let go. You know, once you have it, you can't just be like, okay, I got it. That's that. And just not care about anything else. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. What's your take on the question?
You just have to be better than you were yesterday. Like you're only really in competition with yourself. I think when you move like that, it's easier for you because it's so easy to become focused on what other people are doing, what other people he's entertaining. Even when you're married, like at his job, what other females are present. You know, what else could he be looking at? But if I'm making sure I'm doing the best that I can, I'm looking my best, like she said, I'm making the best meals. So yeah, I don't know if it is a competition between yourself or with someone else.
Yeah, I don't think it's a competition. It's just like when you get a new car, you got to get oil change on like a quarterly basis because you have to maintain.
But you're picking out a car.
you're picking out your partner too.
I'm saying, but you have to. I'm sorry.
No. But you're picking out. You don't think so?
I think that I think we're animals, and it's like survival of the fittest. Like you have to win. There's a game being played. There's competition happening. Like, I mean, I guess the way you guys are saying that, if I'm the best version of myself, I don't need to worry about that because I'm not good.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, okay, I know there's other people out here who are fighting for my spot. Who won?
So I'm gonna be on my best. I'm gonna do the best that I can. It is the same thing, yeah. But it's just like what's fueling it. Like I don't want to be fueled by another person. I want to be fueled by me, if that makes sense. Because that's easier for me, being the best version of myself for myself.
Yeah.
Not I want to be better because I don't want her to be with someone else. I don't want someone else gonna take my spot. I want to be better because I want to be the best version of her for me.
And once you move that way, then you don't have no regrets. If anything were to happen where he chooses to go with somebody else, I did my best. Yeah, I gave him everything that I possibly could.
And it's not because I failed. I was the weaker opponent. Once again, I wasn't the right fit for her, but I'm still an asset. Yeah, I know I have to move like that because if not, I start like nitpicking at myself. Or what does she have that I don't have? I can't live like that. This is the body I was given. This is who I am, and I'm gonna make it work.
And that's the part that have us going so hard for these guys, you know? Like,
yeah, I don't ever wanna. And I'm such a woman type thing too. Like I hate like beefing with another woman over a nigga.
Yeah,
I'll be damned. So I'd rather not know what's going on. Like the only generally like it's me versus me.
Yeah.
I look this way. How can I look better tomorrow?
What can I do?
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely agree.
All right, to wrap up this post, because one more post. So, all in all, nothing is going to stop a man from cheating. This is what this whole thing comes down to. So you could be cooking and cleaning and whatever, and he's still going to cheat. And you could be doing none of these things, and he's still going to cheat. And that's what's really important for me. I realized I was spending a lot of time auditioning for men. And you could tell by what I was into that certain period of my life. So when I was like really into fitness and shit like that, like I'm going to the gym in the morning, I'm doing my green smoothie, I was after workout nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like I wanted him to see like, wow, she works out. If I'm like really out of nowhere pick up this new interest, it was typically because there's a guy and I wanted him to see like, look, I like it too. But now what I realized is I didn't know myself. I didn't know what I liked, what I didn't like. So now I'm very intentional. This is what I am. This is who I am. You like soccer? As an example, I hate soccer. I don't watch soccer. And I'll tell you that because I don't want to sit through like watching 90 minutes of a game that I told you I enjoyed just to impress you. So I think we have to realize that a man is going to cheat. A man is going to wife up whoever he wants to. Just be yourself. And like Gidna said, when it doesn't work, you know it wasn't you. You showed up as the best version of yourself. You did your best. It was not for you. Next caller.
Yeah. I mean, I think
I got real passionate.
I think you said it all. I think you said it all, and we can wrap this up. So moving forward, how we plan on being more intentional?
Just being myself more, speaking up when I got to.
Hey, Speak Up Networks. Yeah, I think just being your true, authentic self and showing up exactly who you are as who you are, and not putting a front, not putting a facade, like just being you.
And knowing your boundaries, what your different, and even figure out what your different stages look like of relationships and dating, because yours might look completely different than ours. Just do what works for you. We're only always speaking from our experiences. We're speaking from our triggers, our traumas. So that might look very differently from yours. You might be able to handle some things that we can't, vice versa. So we're just helping you through what we went through. So don't forget to follow us on Instagram at The Good Intentions Pod and on YouTube at The Good Intentions Podcast. Don't forget to follow me at QueenCast_X3.
And of course, your girl, Giddy Love, at Giddy Love J1 forever and ever and ever.
Bye.
Toodles.
Can't find love, but I got good intentions. Yeah. If you ain't solid,